here are my thoughts on Nico Hulkenberg, James Hinchcliffe, and Ian Magnussen. What all three of those have in common is that they are all being let go from their teams. And not just that, all three of them are well established and have very big fan bases, and they are very good drivers, at least in the eye of most people. They are very good drivers. So all of them are very good drivers and are very well established and are known names. They are internationally renowned. So why are they all being let go? The simple thing is that, well, they haven't been special enough. Pretty much that's it. They have not been special, and times are changing, times are moving. So I'm gonna start with Nico Hulkenberg because he's the highest profile person being in Formula One. So his career highlights: as a rookie, he had pole in Brazil, and finished eighth. So but he had the pole position. It doesn't pay anything, but he still had the pole position, and he finished eighth. Because the Williams is still a slower car than the Ferrari or the McLaren at the time. So, and then in 2012, he fought Lewis Hamilton for the win. Lewis Hamilton crashed out of the race, and he was given a penalty and just finished fifth. So at that time, well, most people say, well, he should just follow Lewis Hamilton home and at least have a podium. But he wanted to win, but he didn't win. He finished fifth. So hindsight, he himself would say, yeah, he should just follow Hamilton home. So the biggest highlight of his career is that he won Le Mans in 2015. That was supposed to be the seat that Fernando Alonso was supposed to take in the Porsche LMP1 car, but Honda vetoed that. Vetoed that, and then so apparently Nico Hulkenberg went to Porsche and offered himself his services. So so that's still the biggest accomplishment in his career. The Le Mans wins. So he has the record for most races with no podium. So 175 races. So if he does not get a podium in Brazil, that will be 176 races. So the person we can compare him to now is Sergio Perez. So they were both at Force India from 2014, 2015, and 2016. So Perez, in that stretch, Sergio Perez had 4 podiums, and Nico Hulkenberg had none. So, and so he did beat Nico Hulkenberg did beat Sergio Perez in 2014. So 2014. So Sergio Perez was in McLaren in 2013. It didn't work out. He left McLaren, and then they were both together at Force India for 2014. And then Nico Hulkenberg beat Sergio Perez. So at that time, everybody said, well, Nico Hulkenberg should have been the one to go to McLaren. McLaren should have picked Nico Hulkenberg instead. It might have worked out better for them then. But Sergio Perez, even though he beat Sergio Perez that year, Sergio Perez still had a podium. So, and by the following 2 years, Sergio Perez beat Nico in the standings, Nico Hulkenberg, in the standings, and also had podiums. So that was that was defeat. So it was 2-1 in Perez's favor. And then in 2017, that's when Hulkenberg left to go to Renault. But let's not forget that Renault originally wanted Sergio Perez. They only signed Nico Hulkenberg because they could not get Sergio Perez. So I guess that told us everything we want to know from then on, because they did want Sergio Perez to begin with. But he didn't want to go there because he didn't see the potential. He didn't see the I guess he didn't see that anything happening. And then it was clear that the Mercedes engine was the better engine, and then that's what Force India had at the time. That they still have. And then Renault engine was not so good. It just wasn't it just wasn't there at the time. So that's why Sergio Perez stayed where he's at, and So overall, I guess he was gauged against Sergio Perez, and he was not able to deliver, as a Renault expected. Well, he did deliver as expected. It's just that when they signed Ricardo, Ricardo was delivering more than him. So they felt that Ricardo had more potential, and yeah, so that's why they fell. And he has a bigger name because he has had podiums and wins in Formula One. So Formula One is just not about driving. It's about driving and attracting sponsorship. So somebody with wins and touted as a star is going to attract more sponsorship. So which Hulkenberg doesn't have any of that. No wins, no podiums. So he doesn't have that. Yeah. Okay. Now James Hinchcliffe. So he's known as the mayor of Hinchville. So I used to go to his website a lot. I don't anymore. When he was with Andretti Green and and sponsored with Andretti Autosport and sponsored by GoDaddy. I used to visit his website. It was I have not visited his website in a long time. Even just before I did this video, I did not go to his website. So yeah. So but before he was a top prospect in IndyCar, especially with Andretti. But I guess I kind of felt that maybe he was sort of clashing with Ryan Hunter-Reay a little bit. But who can he be gauged against? So the person he can be gauged against is none other than Simon Pagenaud. Well, it seems unfair, but unfortunately it's Simon Pagenaud. Because Simon Pagenaud was as Schmidt Hamilton Motorsport, the same team that Hinchcliffe is currently at, was currently at. So Simon Pagenaud was in the same team for 3 years. So so Simon Pagenaud was there for 3 years, and then his first year there was his first full season in IndyCar. Simon Pagenaud had did one-off races for other teams, but his first full season in IndyCar was with Schmidt Hamilton Motorsport. His first year he finished third in the standings. So Pagenaud's first season in IndyCar he finished third. His second season he finished fifth, and then his third season he's finished third again with the same team. So that says a lot. James Hinchcliffe. And then James Hinchcliffe, when Simon Pagenaud was poached by Roger Penske, James Hinchcliffe left Andretti Autosport to join, so pretty much to effectively take Pagenaud's place. So everybody's going to expect that, wow, okay, if this is the caliber team we had, let's get another star. So at that time, Hinchcliffe was seen as a star, and in an environment where he was the man, he's going to deliver. I thought that so too. I thought maybe Andretti Green environment maybe was a little too crowded. Maybe they were prioritizing Ryan Hunter-Reay mainly above him, so maybe he would do more if he came to a team where he was set. He was the main guy. But okay, well, his first season didn't quite okay. He crashed at Indy and he was out for the season. But after that, he never got close to the top 5 ever. I think his best finishing in the standing was 7th, I believe. I should look that up. Yeah. So so he never finished in the top 5. So he was never really a threat for any championship or close to any championship. He was never a contender for anything. He did have wins. Every season he has at least one win. But the kicker is that in 2018, so he was the main guy. So he did beat Mikhail Loshin. He was better than him. But the kicker is that in 2018, he's one of his best friends. He was in the DTM. Robert Wickens joined the team, and maybe the team had felt that, maybe they fell behind. Maybe that's why they couldn't give James Hinchcliffe the tools needed to do well. But when Robert Wickens joined the team, he showed that the performance that Pagenaud was getting out of the car was still there. The performance that Pagenaud was getting from the team is still there. So Robert Wickens showed that the team is still good. This team is maybe the third or fourth best team, on the grid. So Robert Wickens showed that he almost won his first race. He almost won several other races. And he was a rookie there. So who knows? Next year, the following year, if he was still this year, if he was still in the team, he could have contended. He could have been in the top three. Maybe he could have been contending for the championship. Because so especially that this year they have more resources. Aero has invested a lot in the team, so they expect it to be higher up the grid. Especially after the performance that Robert Wickens showed made Aero want to invest more. Like, wow, this is what this team is capable of. So we want to invest in that team. We want to get them higher up the grid. So this team can do something. They could be part of the big three, or they could be the team. They could become the team. But we all know what happened. So, and to Robert Wickens, hopefully he heals. I like to see him back in racing. I used to watch him in DTM. I always felt he should be in Formula One. But he never got into Formula One. But I like to see him racing. Hopefully we can see him racing. I do watch his videos of his rehab on Twitter. So hopefully you get better, Robert Wickens. So definitely hope that you get better, a lot better. But he did show what the team can do, what performance that was available. But 2019, it didn't happen. James Hinchcliffe couldn't deliver the same performance. He couldn't come out with the same performance, even though there was a lot more investment in the team. So, and then now that McLaren wants to be part of the team, so I'm sure they looked around to see which team has potential. So they saw what this team can do. That's why they chose that team to partner with. But they figured, well, this guy has been there in this series for a while, but he has not delivered. He has not pulled out all the potential out of the team. He has not brought out the whole potential out of the team. So ultimately, that's what was his undoing. Even though he's a popular guy, well established, and he's fast and he's likable. But it's not about that. When dollars are in play, I guess it's about delivering. And Patricia Ward is a likable guy. That's what everybody doesn't see. He's a very likable guy. So Patricia Ward, if anything, I actually thought they would keep Patricia Ward and have James Hinchcliffe. But I guess they decided no. Hinchcliffe is going to be a lot more expensive. So let's just get two rookies and train them the way we want to train them. Give them that winner's mentality with no baggage at all. So I guess that's what they wanted. So ultimately, that's what his undoing, because he couldn't get the performance that the team knew, especially that. So I'm sure they gauged themselves against the resources they invested in the team when Pagenaud was there, and now Pagenaud is gone. So they know exactly what they can get. I'm sure they probably increased the level of investment in the team, but the results didn't keep up with the level of investment. So especially this year, with Aero being part of the team and with McLaren not investing, so that team actually has a lot more resources now, more than they have now. So next year they'll have even more to work with. So they wanted someone on the up and coming to deliver. So if Red Bull is picking Patricia Ward, that if Red Bull sees something, there got to be something, because Red Bull has had some very good drivers. Actually, in Germany, the F1 podium was all made of Red Bull driver. Vettel was second, but he was a former Red Bull driver. So it was so Red Bull knows how to pick their drivers. And Jan Magnussen and IMSA. So Jan Magnussen, he's been okay. So this is the only person I feel that the team, Jan Magnussen, is the only person I feel that the team is booting out the wrong driver, because Oliver Gavin should be the one that's going out of the team, out of the Corvette team. I think Oliver Gavin should be the one. Should be the one out. But I assume maybe okay, maybe he still has a contract, so maybe they might wait for his contract to run out. But overall, especially at Le Mans, he doesn't have the same pace. He always starts the number 4 car. So, well, Le Mans is the 64 car, and that car always has the trouble keeping up with the leaders. Compared to the number 63 car at Le Mans. So, and yeah, so he just but overall, Corvette itself has had the trouble getting rid of drivers. They kept Ron Fellows too long, Johnny O'Connor too long, Olivier Beretta too long. So they kept all those 3 drivers too long, in my opinion. They kept them for too long, and it has cost them championship, race wins, and Le Mans wins. So it has cost them all that. So, and also, but I guess the only thing that maybe works against them is that they have a very loyal fan base, and the fans want to see the drivers. The fan wants to see the drivers. The fan wants to see the drivers to racing, and unlike other makes like Porsche, BMW, Ferrari, so they don't race in anything else. They only have the GTLM program going, so that's all they have. So that's the only place you can see the Corvette drivers racing. So I assume that's why they keep the drivers for longer, because the fans want to see them. So, and the fans have their favorite drivers, and the Corvette Corral is the longest when you go to any race, longer than the Porsche Corral. You know how passionate people are about the Porsches. Well, Corvette has a longer list of a bigger fan base. So, but because they don't race anything else, there's no way to push up their driver. They used to have the Cadillac program, but it's not the same, as Corvette. Corvette is, I don't know, it's not the same. So, but then only Johnny O'Connell was racing that. Johnny O'Connell, but now they don't have that program anymore, so they can't push up their drivers to another series and still allow them to race and for the fan base to come see those drivers racing. So they keep them long, but then it's costing them wins. But if you look at it, Corvette is the only team that still has some of the same drivers that they had since the GT1 days, GT1, GT2 days. The only person I can remember is Darren Turner for Aston Martin, but he no longer races in the GTE Pro cars. He doesn't race in the GTE Pro car anymore. I mean, he does appearance in GTE Pro, but he's not a full-time. So Corvette is the only team that still have the drivers. Imagine if Porsche still had Patrick Long and Jörg Bergmaster and not have the drivers they have compared to Nick Tandy, Earl Bamber. So, I mean, Patrick Long and Jörg Bergmaster are still fast, but, they're not fast consistently. Yeah, they're not as fast consistently. They're still fast, but when you have to, to eke out those fraction of seconds every single lap, maybe for 10 consecutive laps to catch up to someone, they won't be able to do it. Over time, you just can't be at the top of your game for be at the top of your game is a limited game. It's limited, so you can only do it for so long. So even Romain Dumas, he was like the Porsche's #1 guy, but then they had to get him out of the team, out of the P1 team, because they figure, okay, he's done his time. He was the guy for Porsche, like the race closer. Like when he was in Penske, he was the closer, and he was hunting down the Audis and close them out. That's it. So, but that's it. He can't do that anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. He can race for privateer teams but Porsche will not keep him for the top program. They have other guys who can do that even better now. So, but Corvette still keeping the same guys. So there are people out there who are faster. That's just So you just have to move on, but just keep the guys for a long time. But the good thing is that for all 3 drivers, Nico Hulkenberg, James Hinchcliffe, and Ian Magnussen, is that there's still plenty of racing left. I remember, there's still a lot of racing left to do. So if they want, Hulkenberg could pretty much race wherever he want to race right now, especially for Nico Hulkenberg, because even James Hinchcliffe, he could pretty much race anywhere in the U.S. right now. So Ian Magnussen might be a little more limited, but still he could still race. His name is known, so he has a known name. I'd like to see him racing with his dad. I mean, with his son. Ian Magnussen race with Kevin Magnussen if they could race in the endurance race. I'd like to see that. So yeah. So and then Nico Hulkenberg. The rumor is that he might race for Ed Carpenter Racing and do the oval race. Do the oval races. So that would be good. Hopefully they're competitive because Ed Carpenter is a good team as well. And by James Hinchcliffe, I mean he could go to another team, and there's plenty of other team there out there in IndyCar that would want him. So he's known. So he has proven success. So well, they could all do something. So, and thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video.